guys, so today I have the next episode of my collection favorites video. So this episode is going to be all about brushes. So brushes and then anything that like applies makeup, you know what I mean? I think the next episode in the series I'm going to do are my ColourPop favorites because that was something that was super requested. So let me know what you guys want to see after that, whether it be like face products, foundation, concealer, that sort of stuff, or if you guys want to see another like within a brand, like I could do an updated Makeup Geek collection favorites. Just let me know what you guys want to see, but let's get on to my favorite brushes in my collection. So I'm just gonna start with base and then work up like in the way that you would do your makeup. So first thing is foundation. So I have a couple brushes. So the first is pretty obvious because I feel like everybody on YouTube raves about this brush. This is the Morphe M439, a crazy dense buffer brush. I believe this is under $10 or right around $10 as well. This is amazing for just buffing in foundation. It really doesn't eat up as much product as you would think, but it just buffs in amazingly and leaves the least amount of like streaks of any foundation brush I've ever used. It is freaking bomb and it's just so good. I love this brush for foundation. The next is the Makeup Geek Foundation Stippling Brush. Now this isn't nearly as dense. Like you can see, it has a lot of give to it, but it still isn't streaky. This is my favorite way to apply my Urban Decay Naked Skin foundation just because I feel like it really blends it into the skin. And I feel like Makeup Geek brushes are so underrated and like not talked about, and they're amazing, pretty affordable brushes. Like they're probably in between the price point of like Morphe and Sigma, so I mean they aren't as expensive as Sigma, but they might be around maybe the pricier Morphe prices, you know what I mean? Like I feel like this one is, I think it's around like $14.99, maybe $12.99. I'll have the prices of them here. But anyways, I just love this foundation brush. This one I like for more like full coverage heavy duty foundations. This one I like for like thinner consistency foundations to really just like smooth them and blend them out. But for foundations like Tarte Amazonian Clay and stuff like that, I really like this brush. For like Urban Decay Naked Skin and stuff like that, I love this brush. Or like my Naked Skin One and Done that's like a BB cream. Love this brush. I of course have to talk about my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. This isn't a brush, but it does what a brush would do, and I just have to shout this out. You guys know this is like my favorite way to apply 99.9% of my foundation. Sometimes I'll switch and use brushes just to mix it up, but honestly this applies so seamlessly and it blends in concealer nicely. You can use it to set your under eyes with powder with this little pointed tip. I am currently trying out the Beauty Blender. I am going to do a comparison video. I've only tried that for a couple days, so I can't say that that one is my favorite. This one is my favorite. It is so good, and they're like $6.99. They're just amazing. I love the Real Techniques sponge. So not a brush, but it does the same thing as like brushes would do. Okay, next, blending in concealer. I love this Makeup Geek Angled Stippling brush. I think I have like 2 of these. I love this because it just really gets right in there and you can just pat it out and just blend it. It's just so nice. The size of it is almost just like perfect. I also will use this for baking every once in a while. So if I want to bake my under eyes or if I want to bake underneath my contour or anything like that, I love this blush or this brush for blending. And this one is a lot more dense, so it really just keeps the concealer in place without sucking up a ton. It does pick up a little bit of the excess product, which is nice, but it really just blends so seamlessly. I love this. So this is the Angled Stippling brush from Makeup Geek. Okay, and then powder. You guys knew this was coming. This is the e.l.f. complexion brush. I have talked about this since my channel started almost 2 years ago. This is my favorite brush of all time. It's like $3. I used to love this. I used to use this for bronzer all the time. It's still a great bronzer brush, but now I use it for powder and it is just the greatest. It's kind of like paddle brush shaped. This one is kind of messed up because I've had it for a really long time. They're only like $3, and this is seriously one of my favorite brushes of all time. If you have been around my channel, you guys know this is amazing for both powder powder and bronzer, and even like blush too. It's just an all-in-one great brush, and it's super affordable. Speaking of bronzer, so I'm gonna let's talk about bronzer first. So I love angled brushes like this for bronzer. So I used to be obsessed with the Morphe M405. I am, however, transitioning all of my brushes to synthetic fibers. So I wanted to also mention the Wet n Wild angled face brush, I think is what it is called. This one is also like, I think it's like $2.99 or something ridiculous. This one's a great brush, but it is made of animal hair, so I am trying to like phase all of my animal hair brushes out. But anything like this, it is my favorite. I love these two. This one is a lot softer. This one is a lot pokier because of the fibers, but this one is so soft, blends contour and bronzer seamlessly. I don't like using huge bronzer brushes, so if you're a huge bronzer brush girl, I would go with the e.l.f. Complexion Brush. I used to love this, and it is a good bronzer brush, but for more precise bronzing, which is what I usually like to do, any like angled brush like this, these two are my favorite, but currently this one, because this one is animal hair. So yeah, these are I think this is Wet n Wild small angled brush, something like that. And then this is the Morphe M405. For contour, I have two brushes right here. This is the e.l.f. Mineral Powder Brush. This is one of those brushes where I always forget about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I have that brush, and it's amazing. This is just a nice, small, domed brush, super simple. It's like $3, and this is perfect for contouring because it just gets right in the hollows of your cheeks and around your temples, and you can really just contour super, super nicely with it. Doesn't leave a harsh line, but you can still get a really precise contour. However, if you want a harsh line, this is the Makeup Geek Chiseled Cheek Brush, and I use this for my nose all the time just because you can really just like, you know, just chisel out and then underneath. I'll also use this to like, I'll put on bronzer and then I'll just do like a kind of harsh line of contour and then blend it out with my bronzer brush, and it just leaves a beautiful contour, and it's not too dense. It does have a little bit of blendability to it, so I really like it. It's not too like harsh and like itchy feeling, you know what I mean? So for contour, I love the e.l.f. Mineral Powder brush and the Makeup Geek Chiseled Cheek Brush. For blush, you guys know this was coming. This is the Makeup Geek Face Buffer Brush, which I think is originally like either a powder brush or like a foundation brush. I really want to use this with foundation. I have two of them, so I feel like I should use this for foundation and try it, but I just love this for blush. I have a problem where on this side of my face, like around this area, there's a spot that rejects pigment. Manium UI was talking about it not that long ago, and I thought I was the only one, and I was like, what the heck, this is so weird. Like everywhere else it would apply like brush or blush or bronzer or anything, but there was just one spot that would not take pigment. It was so weird. So I really like this because I can just stamp it where I want. So sometimes I want blush like right on the apples of my cheeks, or sometimes I want it like up kind of on the angled side of my cheek, however you describe that. I like this because you can just stamp it and then just kind of swirl it around to blend it, and it's just an amazing precise blush brush. Highlight and under eye setting powders. These two, again, Morphe M501. I believe this is sable, which I don't know what this is made out of basically, but this is a great highlighting brush. If you want a synthetic option, this not Morphe, Real Techniques setting brush. This is an amazing highlighting brush and for setting under eyes. This one is just a lot more like fluffy, and this one's a little bit more dense, but they still do amazingly. I will use this to set my under eyes, and I'll use this to set my under eyes, and I'll highlight with both of these. They're awesome. They're both really affordable as well, so both for under eye setting and for highlighting, I love this. This is Morphe M501 and the Real Techniques setting brush. For brows, the queen, Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush. I have not found a brush like it. I have so many angled brushes over here in my little mason jars, and nothing compares to the Anastasia number 12 brush. It is just so tiny and dense, and just like you can get such precise lines with this. The spoolie's nice. I mean, I feel like a spoolie's a spoolie, but I believe this is, I think it's under 20 bucks. I think it's around 15 bucks. So it's not the worst price point. I think it's worth it, totally worth it for me. But you can just, so many times with angled brushes, I feel like they're just too big to where if you want to do like line, like hair strokes, or like a precise like tail, like a really thin tail, you can't do it with a lot of them. But this one is just so bomb, so small, so precise. Best, hands down, best brow brush in my opinion ever. Okay, let's get on to eye brushes. So let's start with blending brushes. So I have 3 here to talk about. This one is the Morphe M504. Again, I'm not sure what material this is made out of, but I do really like this blending brush. This one is kind of the fattest blending brush I have. So this is what I use for my transition colors or to blend out other colors when I want like a big fat fluffy blending brush. I do have the Sigma E40 and I'll show you how they compare, but the Morphe one is just a little bit fatter, so I find that it blends easier. This one kind of, the Sigma one kind of blends in a line and it's not as fluffy as I want it to be. So this one is awesome for just blending all over in the crease. Another great blending brush is the Wet n Wild blending brushes. These ones, I always find mine at Fred Meyer and they're pretty much always in stock, thank goodness. I know they did recently restock on the Wet n Wild website, but again, this is like $1.99 or $2.99, something ridiculous, and it's just a nice fluffy blending brush, perfect for crease colors, perfect for like blending out your outer V underneath the lash line. I mean, it's a blending brush. You guys know what to do with a blending brush. It's a great one. And then this is the Morphe M433. This is really similar to, I think, the MAC 217, or is that the Sigma 217? No, it's the Sigma E25 and I think MAC 217. Where it's like kind of a paddle brush shape. I mean, it's all over everywhere. I do want to get the Sigma one because the Sigma is synthetic fibers. This one is animal hair, so I'm trying to phase it out, but there's 1,000,005 brushes that are of this shape, and it's definitely a staple. This is great for like defining the crease, defining the outer V while also blending. I like this because you can place colors and blend as you go. It's a great, great brush. So I definitely want to get the Sigma one because it is synthetic fibers, but I love that shape of brush. This one is a furless PE1 brush. This is an angled brush and I love this for outer V colors. The furless brushes are so soft, like absolutely so soft. They're the softest brushes I own. They're all synthetic fibers, they're cruelty free, and all their makeup is vegan. But this is just another great brush for defining the outer V, so you can really just kind of like stamp colors on and then blend as you go. And it's really dense, so if you really want to pack on color, this is your best friend, because something like the Morphe M4 or M433 isn't going to pack as much color on. It's going to be more like better built for blending, whereas this one, if you want to like today I wanted to pack on that burgundy shade, so I use this to really like stamp it on, and then you can blend it as you go. I love this brush so much. And I actually have 2 of these brushes. They're the exact same brushes. This is, I believe it is called the Wet n Wild large eyeshadow brush. So it's another like paddle brush shape where it's thin on one side, kind of long. They're pretty dense and I love these for lid colors, also for brow bone colors. They're just nice and fluffy and soft. I don't know what it is, but I think it just picks up the lid color really nicely and just deposits it really nicely. I just love these, and again, they're super, super affordable. Next, everybody needs a good pencil brush in their collection, and my favorite has got to be the Makeup Geek small crease brush. This is a tiny pencil brush, but I love this. I either use this to like pack on inner corner highlight or like inner corner colors or glitters or whatever, or I use this to like smudge out my lower lash line or to define my crease or define my outer V. This is just a great tiny precise defining brush that's really dense, so will pack on color. It is so good. I love this pencil brush. And then lastly is another staple. This is the Morphe M224, and it's just a synthetic flat like concealer brush, and this is perfect for like loose pigments, it's perfect for glitters, it's perfect for lid shades, it's perfect for brow bone, anything where you want to pack on color. This is the brush I use all the time when I need to like wet an eyeshadow to make it really, really metallic, or when I use, like I said, glitters or pigments, anything like that. This is an absolute staple in any like beauty addict's makeup collection. It's just perfect for all over lid shades and for all those things that I talked about, like glitters, pigments, anything where you're packing color on your lid, even just like everyday eyeshadow colors for packing on the lid. It's just a good standard eyeshadow brush. So yeah. Okay guys, I feel like I went through that really fast. I feel like I was talking a million miles a minute, but I hope you guys got some good ideas for brushes that you may need in the future. Please leave all of your guys' favorite synthetic cruelty-free brushes down below, because again, I'm looking to switch all of my brushes over to synthetic fibers, so help sister out. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys want to see next in my collection favorites, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!